Good evening, Randomania and Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. I am Thunderclawed, calming today with Space Drake in the booth. Space Drake, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Very good. We have a tracker in the background. Sunny's our first time, maybe first time tracking, not sure, but jumping in very new and helping us out. But we have a very hype race tonight against two runners that are currently 2-1 in the tournament. SeelieFae versus Guda. SeelieFae is someone who's contributed a lot to the Final Fantasy Randomizer with different edits and mods. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think SeelieFae is the reason we have thief buffs right now. And Guda is the person who has started up our Iron Gold match tournaments. Have been very fun, but have been kind of slightly postponed until the tournament is over. So both contributors of the Final Fantasy Randomizer community in a heavy way, and both running a drafted party comp. What do you think about this comp today, Space Drake? So Space Drake, what do you think about this party comp today?
I think it's a little bit beyond description, but this is definitely the result of a draft and folks trying to trap one another.
Absolutely. And I have just let the gate go. Darn. Let the gate drop for the runners. So they'll be going here in a few seconds when the stream catches up. And so, yeah, with the thieves, 2 thieves and 2 red mages, you're leaving a little bit to chance here. You're not going to have high HP totals going in around 24. Yeah. Your magic is possibly going to be bad, because you have a lot of permission slots locked out, but it generally doesn't work out too bad with red mages.
Yeah, you're mainly hoping that you don't see Fade in that second or fourth slot in the first level magic, or that you see anything at all. Yep.
We got Life 2, Past Temper, and Brack all in the first level of magic, so most of what we need to see to make this awesome already happening.
Yeah, but seeing Temper and Fast in the same spell level never feels super great, because you know that you're going to be a little bit locked out on using it on like every single like fiend in Topher, perhaps.
Yeah, and as Crackcase points out in chat, that's a lot of really good spell to make choices with, and what's unfortunate is at first glance you're like, oh, get Fast Temper and Life 2, but what are you going to kill things with? You know, so you kind of have to split your magic among 2 red mages. I would personally just get Fast on 1 red mage, Temper on both, Life 2 on both, and maybe a Lit 2 on one of them, so I get the level 2 magic.
You just hope to maybe get that power block somewhere.
But also, I saw a question in chat from Crackcase. She asked, who drafted what? I was in there, I did see the draft order. I believe first was Guda, who picked red mage. Then Seelie says, I'm going to go with a conventional party, and then pick 2 thieves. Then Guda said, oh yeah, I like conventional parties, and then he picked red mage. So they kind of both trolled at each other a little bit to have some fun, and I think it's going to be a fun race to watch. So they both decided to get some levels before going up to Garland and some imps. It's not a bad play, you kind of expended all your money, so you kind of wanted to get some gold for save items. Plus, and you also only having 1 character with Lit 2, possibly, that's kind of hard to rely on.
Yeah, and you also want a bit of money for that armor and whatnot, and it looks like Seelie is setting up to Dan off the first of those 2 thieves.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. You're more than likely not going to be needing 2 thieves for anything. I mean, you're going to put your damage into 1, and you're going to run just as equally with 1 as you do with 2.
Yeah. And Guda going ahead, burning off an encounter or 2, and heading on into Temple of Fiends, planting some bones that don't do much.
But here's another thing to think about with the thieves. They do get levels 1 through 4 black magic, so if you get your tail to promote, you're going to have a lot of extra temper and fast charges and brack casts on those ninjas.
Yeah, that might be what both of our runners are banking on, being able to get those fast and tempers on the ninjas, so that you can just free that up for life 2 on the red mages.
Yeah, to me that would be a good play. Keep in mind for sure, but we'll see how elusive that tail is. Could be hidden loose somewhere we don't want to dig.
Oh! Guda gets hit for exact damage on Red Mage number 2. That never feels good.
Could be one of those seeds, huh? Oh, there's that tail. Never mind, we don't have to worry about finding that. But we did get a rod, so... Oh, by the way, I don't think we mentioned, this is our first race of this week's flag sets, which is Sky Week. So we have moved our incentive dungeon past Volcano. It's no longer there. Our incentive dungeon for the week is Sky Castle, which you need the chime and the cube to get into. So you might see some early dives going into Sky to find a canoe or a floater.
Mm-hmm. And specifically, the incentive chest is the one that in the vanilla game contains the adamant on the second floor of the Flying Fortress.
I've ran a few of these already, and I have had more than one that made me go into Sky Castle for the canoe. So it's definitely a real possibility. And SeelieFae catches up with killing her Garland. Gets a tail. Yep. And a rod.
And Guda picking up a couple of silver knives, perhaps looking at actually going 4-man strats here, trying to do at least something with both of these thieves.
I don't hate it. I think it's fine early. Keep your thieves, maybe keep all 4 characters up until you know you don't have to do Marsh Cave or you get past Marsh Cave. And by that point, you should have enough safety levels on your red mages and thief to have some HP to survive the rest of the game 3-man, or 2-man even.
I'm not sure I'd like 2-man strats on this particular party comp, because the only true melee damage that you're going to have for the late game is going to be those potential ninjas. And we now know that, well, we possibly know, barring this being a floaterless seed, that we are going to be able to promote as soon as we get the airship.
Yeah, you could definitely do 3-man. 2-man has the advantage of really getting a lot of EXP on the 2 characters that matter right now, which is one of your red mages getting lots of spell charges to get level 3 and 4 access as soon as possible, and your thief getting up to a high level where it can start attributing damage a lot sooner. And you got lit 2 turn order on the pirates, so SeelieFae slightly runs ahead, and ooh, look at that level 2 magic. Nuke.
Level 2 nuke.
Yeah, now this is where I definitely feel safe trying the 2-man.
Not sure why Guda picked up that one Quake, but...
maybe for the meme, we'll see. Heal 3 is excellent also, that's a nice healing level spell. It's a shame it shares with Nick though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it never feels too great to have something else crucial like Heal 3 on the same level as Nuke, and you're fighting for those spell charges.
Hi Griggly Puff in chat. I did see you say hi earlier. I was just waiting for the right time to say hi back. Thank you for coming in and watching this excellent match between SeelieFae and Guda. First of those Sky Week tournament flags.
Seelie taking a second to consider where she wants to go.
That is a loaded item shop with just heal pots.
Oh yeah.
Only need 1 inventory to win.
Seelie seeing that nuke and understanding what's going on.
We should also point out that along with Nuke being at level 2, Saber, so great for ninjas.
It's true.
You might not find your power bunk, but you got that Saber. You got Temperate level 1. I mean, you really don't need a power bunk at that point. You're gonna have lots of attack enhancement magic among all your characters to get through Topher.
Oh, for sure.
Give us a lock at level 3 or 4, and I think we got everything we need in support. Which is even negligible, to be honest, with the Katana crit rate. But I like the key lock check on the way through, makes sense. It's an opportunity to get lots of gold or lots of good items, maybe even the Loose or Canal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we actually didn't quite call it out, but I believe the key was on BK.
Absolutely correct.
So
a little bit
yeah,
of cash find and a pro ring and a pro cape, as I like to say, the proper proper cape, proper ring.
Guda going ahead and
turtle up
just
that red
tanking-
mage in the bottom
yeah,
just to make
tanking out-
sure our life caster survives.
Tanking out one of those red mages so that you will have very safe life 2 casting. And Guda going ahead and checking Temple of Fiends again.
This is a beautiful check. Oh my gosh, especially with Nuke. Pretty much any decent tile you find in here for EXP you can take with Nuke. So,
And
finds worms up here, iron golems, 3 eyes. He's gonna be sitting real nice.
And Seelie going for the opposite strat in tanking up the surviving thief. And not bothering with the Temple of Fiends check.
Well, we'll see what SeelieFae decides to do. Pretty sure she'll check the key lock in Elf Castle, unless she might just kind of glance over the fact that she got a key already.
And those silver swords, sadly not usable by thieves.
Lit 3 is a nice backup sweeper at level 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of enemies resist lit lightning, and it does pretty good damage among anything. Oh my goodness, Cure 4 is locked out, but we got Heal 2 and Life, so we have another source of life magic on the Red Mage.
Yeah.
And AoE healing. This might be a seed where you might not even need to buy heal pots.
Always a little bit sad to see that Cure 4 be locked out.
So sea trolls and lobsters aren't obviously what you want to always find to grind, but at level 6 with Nuke, they give you levels.
Wouldn't be too bad with that Lit 2 either. Or that Lit 3, rather.
Exactly. But we do get access to lock at level 4, so even if we find a highly evasive fiend later in the game, we can get that evasion down.
Yeah, as Crabcakes observed,
Oh my gosh. They get
Fiend's
Cure
Lock was
3.
largely a dud.
They have all the amazing healing magic minus Cure 4 on the red mages. It's actually an insane red mage seed right now.
Guda
Pro
having...
rings 9,000 and silver bracelets 2,500. Not a bad price for both items.
Yeah, that's a real good price for pro rings. I would imagine once Seelie gets some money, she's just going to give everyone pro rings. Taking a moment to consider, it looks like.
Man, I kind of wish I was playing a seed right now. I'm kind of jealous of all this good stuff that they're finding. Where's the bad? There's always a bad somewhere.
Well, I'll point out we haven't found the canal yet, and yep, Seelie is on the way to check the Northwest Castle, and if that doesn't have it, it's time for Marsh.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that she's not checking the key locks first here, but...
Oh yeah, Seelie skipped the key locked in Elf Castle, which is an odd play, especially with so much stuff available for good prices in Elfland that could perhaps take from the Elf Castle armory.
Oh, look at that, a white shirt just sitting there for us inside of Dwarf Cave. That's pretty awesome. Guda saves just in case everything in this dwarf armory is not worth keeping and just reset out instead of walking, so a little time save possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But likely gonna keep at least one thing that's in here.
Seelie
Like that
may
dragon
actually
sword.
be on the way to fight the bridge boss.
How about a loose ruby?
That'll do. That's loose item number 1.
Another pro ring find. So that's 2 of the 3 pro rings in the game, and a house and a soft. I mean, I think that's walkout worthy, right?
I would say that's pretty walkout worthy, yes. And I think Seelie might be going for the bridge boss here. The route's going to be check the castle, check Dwarf Cave, which is going to come up pretty big, and then work your way back down to the locked chests in Marsh, just to make sure that doesn't troll you, and then check the ones in Elf Castle last. Because that's on the way back to the canal and the river, regardless of what you find.
Well, a little unfortunately that we don't have extended open progression, so we won't be able to walk up to the Dwarf Cave from here. We have to take our ship to that dock. But finding these Perilous are an excellent source of gold and decent EXP for low levels. Might take this a couple times with Lit 2.
Yeah. Ah, that's true. Without the canoe, you can't actually follow that route.
Yes, we would need to get that canoe first if that plan would come to fruition. But I like the way you think.
Mm. Meanwhile, these big pack of Paralisks, I don't hate this as a grind tile, especially since they rolled away from their squint.
No, this is excellent for early level. Sealy, I agree, take this a few times, get some gold, get some levels, maybe get up to level 10 or 11, and then say, okay, that's enough.
Yep. Get some nuke charges.
Ooh, an Aegis shield. We won't be able to use that except for selling it for gold.
And Guda is going to find a lot of things to buy, so I think he will end up very, very happy here.
Yeah, he's definitely loaded with cash right now. He has no problem buying what he wants to buy. Buy that life, probably buy that heal too if I was him. Man, Guda, be disappointed. People underestimate the power of heal magic.
Guda deciding, no, I'm just gonna chug a lot.
Guda says, I don't need lock, I don't need tier 3.
Not the play I personally would have made, but okay.
I mean, when you have that much gold, and they're that good of magic to save you time in the seed, just don't understand skipping it while you're right there.
Meanwhile, Sealy just burning through all the sweeping magic. Probably going to hit, I would imagine, upwards of, like, level 11 or 12 even. Depending.
Maybe. Question in chat, have we found a canal? No, we have not.
Nope.
It's going to be in Marsh at this point. We've seen all the boxes, even locks that are in the game, available to us besides going into Marsh right now. So we have to go there, which is exactly where Guda's going right now.
Yep. As is Sealy, most likely. Although, Sealy's going to be doing this without spell charges. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh, Sealy is heading back to Elfland, is probably going to check the castle now.
Yeah, it's a
And
quick
probably
walk
also
when
gonna
you know
pick up-
your encounter table. You can kind of save and avoid all the encounters, so it takes you literally maybe 30 seconds to walk and save and come back.
Sealy also probably going to buy a whole bunch of houses and whatnot with all that money she earned. And especially with that Aegis shield that she can now sell.
Meanwhile, Guda's getting the bad end of the encounter table. Just getting encounter after encounter, burning nukes and things on the way through. He's probably got houses at this point, so I don't hate it.
Yeah, picking up those pro rings and probably those silver bracelets. I do not hate this play at all.
Oh no, I would definitely be buying those silver bracelets for my thieves. If I didn't have chain armor, I would also buy them for my red mages.
Honestly, I might take the silver bracelets, yeah, like here over the over the chain armor, because you'll get more herpaderp. You'll get more evasion wearing these silver bracelets for the same amount of absorb.
It is true you'll get more evasion, I just don't think it's worth the price tag. Unrumble Wolfpack. I want to take your sweepers to that encounter in here. So yeah, so far the runner's kind of doing, well, Sealy's gonna go do Pilax, looks like, so doing everything that we saw Guda do. We'll pick up her Ruby, which is gonna be good for her. And wow, Canal right there at top marsh, so let's see if Guda makes a choice to check bottom, or if he says that's all I need and leaves. He's already got a loose. Wouldn't blame him if he forgets about bottom and just leaves it behind.
On the other hand, if you're here, I kind of feel like you just do, especially when you have the key, you just do all of Marsh on the off chance that the seed logic is expecting you to do all of Marsh because it's available now and it might be trying to troll you.
It is true. It is a very small chance at this point that something's down there. so not an impossible chance.
And
But here's what
don't
I
want to
would
get
think
screwed over
about
by
doing is I would leave it behind, and if I get to the point in the game where I'm starting to full clear things looking for a loose, and I have the airship and I have warp or exit, I come back. I won't go there until I have those things in this situation.
Sealy finding that loot. Yeah, for my part, I would always be a little bit afraid of the seed trying to pull a fast one on you and expect you to like do a whole bunch of things in sequence. And if you try to just sort of outthink the seed will outthink you.
Yep, and that's Guda looks like he feels comfortable enough with what he's doing that he can afford to check these down here. So that's going to be a safer play for sure. It could cost him some time that doesn't need to be cost, but he could find like a ribbon down here that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, that's the other thing, especially when you have the key. This is not a small number of chests down here. There's a decent chance that you can find something even like not on the incentive list that is going to be pretty handy for you, especially once you promote.
I believe it's 8 boxes down here that he can check.
Something like that. Yeah, it's 5 in the normal rooms and then 3 more in the locked rooms.
It's 9, that's right. I forgot about the top right chest. I was trying to count it mentally in my head by mapping the dungeon out. Thanks for correcting me, Chad.
Gulef also makes a good point. There are several trap tiles down here that you can check behind those locked doors, and any one of those could be a truly amazing grind spot.
True. At the very least, you could walk out some good EXP, but in a race situation, when you have Nuke at this level, even if you get a good tile, but you come up with no good items, I would just reset out. Leave it all behind.
Well, that is some very, very spicy steak.
Luckily, we got those life 2s. Guda using heal pots when he could be using heal 2 and heal 3.
Losing a non-zero amount of time with all that menuing.
Gonna leave one red mage down for right now. Interesting call. You're gonna go down to 2-man strats, might as well commit right now. We got going on SeelieFae's side. Looks like she finished up her key lock checks and she knows, oh man, I gotta go back to Marsh.
Yep, Sealy trying to do everything possible to avoid Marsh, but it's inescapable.
Light Axe is not worth keeping in my opinion, but it's something that casts damage or magic in combat. Which could be very useful for those thieves until promotion.
It would be a lot more useful if this seed had at least one fighter.
Yeah, being able to equip a Light Axe early on is actually a huge boost to your fighter.
Yep, it's as much an additional hit as a silver sword and significantly more attack.
Absolutely. And I think Guda's got one more box to open up here before he decides to walk out or reset out. In my opinion, I don't think he's seen anything worth walking out at this point. I would reset out unless this last box has a great item in it.
I agree. Like, unless you're maybe really hungry for, say, some of the money from selling the Light Axe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, decides that nothing was really worth keeping. Let's reset out now. Sealy just does top in this abandoned spot of Marsh. I'll kind of close the gap that's already kind of formed between these 2 runners right now. So Sealy does have a slight level advantage over Guda because of those perilous fights. Guda's gonna check his key lock up here, maybe take a perilous fights, which will also slightly even up the tables between him and SeelieFae.
let's see. Does Sealie actually go ahead and check bottom marsh? I wouldn't.
I don't think Sealie will. I feel like Sealie's gonna go ahead and say, alright, got my canal and my ruby, I know what to do now. Ruby giving 2 incentive checks at the same time, which is awesome.
And if you wanted to, you could even just full clear Earth at this point, although I doubt either runner would do that at this point.
Right, that's an option, but as you said, doubtful that either will bite on that bullet.
And also, Guda taking the perilous grind here will also even up our runners significantly.
Yep, SeelieFae's already on her way out. Guda's still grinding up in this northwest castle tile. They could be holding hands, maybe, as they both decide to leave their respective locations and cross paths.
Sadly, these unrunnable werewolves giving Sealie a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, they're just being big old speed bumps right now. Oh, there you go, Guda. Use that heal 3. It's the unrunnable undead pack. He hasn't seen it yet, so I don't hate that he did it. Just checking.
No. Yeah, Guda's just getting the speed bump out of the way. And yep, Sealie decides to just peace out.
Guda says, I want more of these birds.
Delicious bird.
And it does look like Sealie will be the first one out of the Intercontinent. Even her levels, I think, match Guda's right now. Or might be slightly higher since she's kind of danned one of those thieves, so,
Sealie is about level 13 right now.
Well, nice,
Possibly about to be
levels
level
ahead.
13.
So Sealie, even though late to the party of coming to Marsh, has passed up Guda as far as what the seed has in progression already. Gonna take some time in the shops, though. Finish some buying of probably pro rings. I don't know if she needs magic.
No, she's selling off some of the stuff that she doesn't need. Including the peel helmet. I'm not sure how I feel about that particular... Selling off the pro rings.
Just a glorified silver helmet.
Ah, selling off the extra pro ring is what's going on. Okay.
Look at this. Both saving and resetting out at the same time. Maybe I was wrong. They might both be exiting the Intercontinent at the exact same time, depending on how encounters roll for these two.
Twitch doing Twitch things.
And Guda's close. Guda wins the race outside of the Intercontinent. Good job, Guda. Gets out quick. Sealie close behind in second place with the official SRL time of, I don't know what time we got, 26 minutes, 43 seconds out of the Intercontinent. Simultaneous magic shop checks going on.
Yep.
We did see exit. Got the check. It kind of flashed fast. I don't know if that was red learnable, was it? No, it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They get lamp and X for after promotion. Encounter table is kind of rough, but I like Sealie. You know, SeelieFae recently has embraced the power of soft resetting and showing it off right there with 3 encounters back to back to back that she just reset out of. So this is the edge that she wanted to get into this race.
Yep. Sealie burning off some of those encounters and going straight in, while Guda has to play with some wolves for a bit, which pretty much brings them even.
Yeah, they're still... Oh my gosh. Free seed is free seed. There's both loose items. The loot. And the cube. And then we get another incentive item at Sarda.
If that if that Sarda item is the chime, I know exactly where everyone's going next.
Man, you guys, you find a ribbon somewhere, you find a katana, you're good.
I have to say though, I think
Crab
ultimately
Cakes
that
in chat is thinking exactly what I was just thinking. This is not the situation you want to jet seat in. You don't want to go mode with level 13 thieves.
yeah. Although I have to say, I think the decision to dan off one of those thieves early is hurting Seelie a little bit, because it's pretty clear that the double run chance on Guda's side is allowing him to pull forward just a little bit with some of these encounters. And there's a bottle on Sarda.
You say that, but Seelie is still ahead of Guda by a couple seconds here.
Yep, previously she wasn't, but she has in fact pulled ahead.
I do like committing to the 3-man. I think it's the right call. I think committing to a 2-man when you find the tile is the real right call right here. Now, unfortunately, we're kind of in a situation where we're hoping to maybe get some spell charges easily on those ninjas at promotions, so we don't want to grind before getting the floater.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks like we're still in search of a canoe here, and it could come from the Crescent Lake Old Men, buried behind a fetch quest possibly also, or we might have to dig into Mirage and go find our incentive canoe.
Of course, the extra spicy option. Well, no, it couldn't be the Oxyale because we have found both of our incentive items, our loose incentive items at this point.
It could be a shop item though. We could find a shop item in Crescent Lake, or it could be an on-rack that has the canoe progression.
This is true. Well, we're gonna find out in a second here once Guda gets to Crescent Lake.
Got a couple peeds going on Guda's screen. A couple encounters in a row with peeds. Pretty nice.
And Aelmarkin accusing me of possibly invoking the commentator's curse, and I am shocked. I would never.
Well, looks like the item's not for sale in Crescent Lake, so there's only one more item shop that we might be funneled into here. This needs to lead to canoe so we don't have to sail to on-rack. Crystal, so we have more boating to do.
Yep. The old men making us go back to visit an old woman.
And I can't tell you what kind of breath of fresh air it is to find both loose items in the first 25 minutes of a scene.
It feels real good. Like,
all of a sudden, those gambles you want to make are 100%ers, and you don't feel bad at all about orphaning those faraway boxes.
Mm-hmm. About the only thing you might still open treasure chests for would be some ribbons or a masa. I bet both of our runners would really appreciate a masa right now, because a thief can still use that.
Right. We're definitely looking for an endgame weapon for one of our thieves / ninjas. We're definitely looking for some type of ribbon to protect at least one red mage.
Level 6 warp, which can't be learned just yet.
We do fortunately have a white shirt, so we have a method of putting up evasion. But other than that, it's weapons and a little bit of protection.
Good at going for the far dock on the southern continent and doing the walk over to Matoya.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to get something here that he skipped or passed up. He's got a lot of gold. Is this where gold bracelets were? No, he's gonna pick up heal potions. Okay, I don't hate this. It was a good adjustment being on this end of the world.
And yeah, Silverfire in chat pointing out that this is probably a bit of a gamble on Matoya having the shine, because you check Matoya this way, go back to your ship, and then literally just press up on your controller and go straight to Mirage Tower and the Flying Fortress.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, if you think about what possibly could happen here, this has got to lead to Canoe or Chime. And the only other fetch quest that is possible for us to complete is Herb and Crown. And we can walk a circle around the continent just as fast as we can sail a circle around the continent. Matter of fact, I'd argue faster we could walk it. So, and then if this is just like a bottle or something, you can just reset back to your ship.
Seelie using the southern dock in the same area. Slightly, probably banking on this leading to the herb, and then using the South Elfland dock.
Hey, look, it's the Crown.
Ah, the crown instead.
We must walk more circle. Is he gonna go back to his boat? I would, at this point you've committed. Walk it to the Crown. Crown might lead to Herb might lead to Load.
Well,
I guess you would need to walk
as
back.
we were discussing earlier, you will need to go back to the ship in order to get to the Northwest Castle, because non-extended open progression, and we don't have a canoe.
Correct. Yep. That was unfortunate. He was close enough, I think, at Provoke could just hop back in his ship to go up there and around,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It wasn't a terrible gamble.
And meanwhile, Seelie picking up a gold bracelet or two. I don't hate it.
Oh, I would definitely pick that up. Now that's a bracelet worth putting your money into.
That is a very tanky thief at this point.
Yep, and then after they promote, you just move those gold bracelets down to your red mages, and those guys become extra tanky afterwards too.
Mm-hmm. Those gold bracelets being basically the equivalent to iron armors, and so both the thief and the lifecaster red mage have to be at or higher than, I think, like 32 absorb, which for this section of the game is pretty good.
I believe a gold bracelet's 24 absorb.
Yes, which would be the same as an iron armor. And yeah, Silverfire pointing out in chat that the gold bracelets are going to pay off pretty hard if we have to do a dive in the sky after all this fetch questing. You do want to be in at least like iron armor equivalents if you're going to get punched by things like chimeras and badmen and whatnot.
Fortunately, this is what I hate about the boat, is going around the northern part of this continent takes a very long time because it just juts out so far before it wraps around to that canal.
Yep. Which is what SeelieFae was banking on. Seelie is in a position to take a much shorter trip over to the Elfland dock to go visit Astos. Although this is also going to depend on the encounters that Seelie gets.
Is going all the way down to the elf dock, so this will be good. Even if this becomes Herb, his ship will be right there. Otherwise, he's not in a bad position to kind of go south and around the north or the Castle of Ordeals if he has to go into Mirage. What are you hoping to see here, Chime or a canoe? I'm kind of hoping this leads to Chime myself.
Well, my gut tells me this is going to be Herb or TNT, and the fetch questing will never end. But I personally wouldn't mind seeing a canoe here. Yep. I wouldn't mind seeing all this turn into a canoe, though, because that could lead to some route divergence between our two runners.
Yeah, if we get the cube, we're both funneled to the exact same place, which, you know, it's fine. You know, the other runner's not gonna beat you on location picking.
Oh, I see. Seelie wanted to spend a little bit of time and pick up that last gold bracelet. Really wanting to go into that potential skydive with all gold.
Yeah,
Which I don't
but
hate. Guda is still rocking those silver bracelets, and if this turns into Chime, that could be rough, depending on how the encounters go.
yeah, pick up his pro rings here. Unless he already did. Yeah, he must have forgot where the silver bracelets were. Or, I mean, the gold bracelets.
Pro rings are a good pickup, but yeah, like silver and pro rings alone in Sky is going to be.
Oh, it's doable. It's gonna hurt, but it's doable, especially with Life 2 at level 1.
Which might be what Guda is banking on, but those big packs. If you run into the bigger packs of badmen, that can still really hurt.
Yeah, you get a 5-6 pack or a 5-pack of badmen on the second or first floor of Sky Castle. You could get punched to death before you even get a chance to take a turn.
Yeah. And Seelie decided to go for the inner sea dock for Elfland. Probably banking on whether or not this is going to Dwarf King?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Seelie's gonna do here. Don't
Is
know.
Seelie making the same mistake that we did and think, yep.
Yeah, Seelie for a second was like, I can walk there. Oh, wait. Oh, look at that. We got the adamant. Now we have to take our boat back into the intercontinent.
That inner sea play might have actually been the right idea.
So this is obnoxious.
I totally agree with chat. Adamant into TNT, let's go. I mean, the upshot
at this
of
point,
this...
it's the last fetch that it could actually be something that rewards us. So hopefully,
yeah.
Be really annoying if this all turns into a bottle or a slab.
Well, we have the bottle.
Oh yes, so it would have to be a slab at this point to annoy us, or an Oxyel, because that would just give us a dungeon we don't have to go to yet. No, it's got to be Chime or Canoe. I keep forgetting that. So yeah, it's got to be Chime or Canoe.
Okay, Seelie coming up on the Astos fight, and Guda's gonna show us what this adamant turns into. TNT. TNT. Nope, it's the canoe.
Well, finally, we got a little paddle boat. We will probably see... Guda will make the proximity play, I think, and go down to Ordeals. But, I don't know, maybe he'll shock me and go Ice Cave.
Yeah, there's real opportunity for route diversions here at this point. Because we're now looking for that chime, and that could be anywhere at this point. We now have 1, 2, 3... yeah, 3 more incentive locations that it could be in, or it could be in an item shop in Onrak.
Yeah, we could still have an item for sale on Onrak. That's kind of a piece of the puzzle we kept forgetting when we were saying all the possibilities. I mean, this fetch chain could have led to Oxyel, and then for all we know, the TNT could have been for sale on Onrak, which led to Canoe.
Yep.
No, Guda's gonna make a waterfall play. Don't hate it.
Of course. Yep. This is a pretty fast check to make, and yep, it can also be the item in its vanilla location. I'm glad that Guda remembered this. It is. Nope. It gotta be an Onrak itself, or... The real evil option would be that our vendor item is in Gaia, and this is a floater required seed.
Well, it's still possible that it could be floater non-required if that happens, because we still haven't found Thor, Opal, or Powerbomb. And it is going to be in Gaia. So if we want to find that vendor item, we gotta get our airship. Which means, that's actually good info for Guda, because now he knows that floater has to come from Waterfall, floater has to come from Ordeals, or it has to come from Sky Castle. It's kind of eliminated, possibly, vendor item floater. Ice also, yep.
We are looking for the Oxyale as well, though, so there is a pretty good chance that this is a floater-required seed, and that we need to get at least one of the proper key items from either the vendor in Gaia or from the fairy in Gaia.
The seed would be super annoying if floater was in a ice cave right now.
Vanilla floater would be pretty obnoxious, yeah.
Seelie has her floater. I'm gonna make a decision on where she wants to go. I wonder what she'll do. I don't know her runner tendencies enough to make a good prediction.
Hiffelbringer,
Oof,
you
slap.
may be slightly unaware that the current setting for this seed is open progression. This means that we do not need the floater in order to get to the Flying Fortress complex of the fortress itself and the Barrage Tower. There is a dock right there at the desert. That means that as soon as we get the chime, we can go straight in.
Well, finding the slab doesn't help us right now, but Ordeals is closest. Next place he'll probably do. Then he'll know to go to Ice Cave if he doesn't get a chime.
That is another option too. It could be a proper key item in SeelieFae, which would mean that's another reason that we would need the floater.
Yeah, there are 3 turn-ins right now that are locked behind the floater, so there's a good chance that one of our required items are going to be floater locked.
Chat, I wouldn't be surprised if both of our runners feel a little bit behind right now, because this has been a long chain of nonsense just to get the canoe. And both of them must be thinking, oh, okay, someone probably just, like, skipped out of March, like, the instant they found the canal and played better than me. And, you know, they blasted ahead and got the canoe faster, and oh gosh, I'm way behind.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're an experienced runner, you kind of make the logic of, okay, this was a one-path only direction seed. My partner here has to go through the exact same pathing I did, so I can't feel behind because it's just as slow for them.
Then, as Silverfire points out in chat, you're also sort of second-guessing your C routing there, which is always a real bugbear for a lot of runners. And you're like, did the other runner manage to do some kind of galaxy brain routing? There's a lot of places to second-guess yourself here.
Yeah, you could lose a couple seconds or even a minute or so, depending on which direction you take your boat around the continent. Sure.
Meanwhile, Guda going for the Ordeals check.
This makes sense. Closest. And it's fairly quick unless the pillars give you trouble like they give me sometimes. Guda talked to the old man just because I gave him trouble for it yesterday.
I hate this a little more than I usually would, just because Warp is locked up there so late in the spell progression, and I always hate doing ordeals and ice without Warp, but in this case, you just don't have that much of a choice.
Yeah, you can't really wait for Warp at this point of progression, being behind only a couple places left.
Seelie, meanwhile, still trying to hack through the many monsters of the waterfall. Seelie finding that slab and probably wants to scream at this point.
Oh no, Zombo's
the wyverns have blizzard.
Just do the tile though. Oh, I like the two-man situation, but Seelie's gonna say, no, let's keep it to 3.
Let's have some punching bags.
Guda's shown us how Pillar Maze can really be annoying.
Also, Seelie showing us that the Wismummies on this seed are pretty beefy, and we don't really want to mess with them.
These man-cats, though, ow! You don't have a ribbon, them hitting you with Ice 2 is gonna hurt pretty hard.
Yep, and Guda getting the unintentional single man grind there.
It's a good thing he bought that Life 1 magic for his other red mage, because that's what allowed him to get all the other characters up with Life 2.
Mm-hmm.
SeelieFae is almost out of waterfall. Getting close to the end here. Or mud goal tile. Throw a nuke at that.
Chad, I was going to mention that I actually don't like doing almost any of the current options in front of us without either warp or exit, because they can all be slogged depending on how it goes. Like, we're having to watch Seelie just sort of drag herself out of this sort of interminable waterfall cave walkout. But yeah, you've got no choice. You just have to do it, and it probably feels miserable.
Oh man, Thor hammer.
And it's a Thor hammer in ordeals.
We have to do ice.
I'm a little surprised Guda isn't just sort of rage resetting out of this, because you didn't get all that much in terms of loot from you, I don't think.
You got plenty of EXP. I think you keep it. You're right there at the exit. Plus,
True.
this tile here they took again is not a bad EXP tile.
Not at all. That is as a Topher tile that is probably going to be defanged thanks to the script shuffle.
Oh, defanged is an understatement with those mages.
Ouch. And chat is over here praying for Chime in Ice.
I'm kind of hoping for the same outcome, but if that happens, this is such a one-way seed that it's kind of This is the most funneled seed I've seen in a long time, to be honest.
Yeah, our seeds don't usually end up being this sort of single path.
By the time we get to Floater, we're just going to have the 3 other checks to do. It's our only variants we can have. The slab, the bottle, and the vendor item in Gaia. And it's just going to be, what order do you want to do your Fiend Dungeons in?
JLo, we have found both loose, which is why we are sort of on this single path now. And Seelie also going to make the play into ordeals and come up empty. Our runners are basically chasing each other at this point, and or no? Ah, Seelie making a small navigational error there.
Seelie again do ordeals as Guda left it. Guda's making his boat way all the way over to the ice cave to find either the floater or the chime. Could be TNT still that locks one of those, which should just be an extra level of annoyance.
If the seed wants to be especially cruel, then yes.
Hey look, it's me.
Hey, there's a lot of thunder. It hurts bad.
Hi Guda.
Those thunder giants could also make the trip into Volcano a little bit spicy.
I don't hate what Guda's doing, because the river system is, I guess, a better encounter table than what you're seeing on land, so taking your boat up here to this canal to be a little closer to the ice cave before getting off your boat,
Yeah.
make it a little quicker.
The giants can also show up in Earth, but that's only a little bit further down, and you don't usually run into quite so many of them.
Yeah, you can get giants on the 2nd floor of Earth and the 4th floor of Earth. And ice cave time, where many runs tend to die.
Good at burning off a few of those encounters to try and run into as little nonsense as possible in here.
First look at wizards. We don't see anything from them yet. First look at wraiths.
We don't see anything.
from them either. First look at specters. Okay, so far it's tame.
Yep. And once again, those two living thieves doing a fair bit of work in terms of running.
Yeah, unfortunately, Guda's gonna be in level trouble if he can't get down to a 3 or 2 man sooner than later.
And JLo, that is the thief from Final Fantasy III that SeelieFae is currently using.
Guda says, I have both loose, I don't need to take the time to walk around all those holes to get to those 2 boxes. I'm just going for the easy boxes, going to the key item.
I don't entirely hate it, but I'll be curious to see if Guda skips all the other chests.
I would check the 5 free ones here in the room they just walked by. Just because you are looking for a ribbon, you are looking for a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably even skip the trap tile because I'm not coming back here to grind even if it's 3 eyes.
That is fair. Chat coming up with the nopes.
3 boxes for potential gear. Flame shield's good post-punch. There's a katana. Okay, we got an endgame weapon.
First look at images. Not a look at images because they die in a nuclear explosion. Again. And the Mudgul
skull tile.
Yep.
Not bad for some EXP. Ah, straight to the floater, vanilla. Love it.
The vanilla floater. Alright. Oh, I see. Guda is probably going to check some of these chests now because we don't have exit. So
Yeah,
we have to take the long way out.
It can be a smart play for sure. We'll see if he commits to checking anything or if he thinks I got enough. Yeah, he's happy with what he's gotten out of here so far. He's got the Armory and Volcano to bail him out maybe for a ribbon. He's got Cardia. He's got a lot of boxes in Sky.
Yep. And meanwhile, Seelie doing the same bit of grinding on the made Triner tile. Fighter giving her a bit of trouble, though.
Yeah, the fighters can be pretty chunky as far as their absorb goes, and they can even roll high HP sometimes. I've seen them roll over 300 a few times.
Yeah, Guda is just slapping on the jets at this point, not even checking some of the freer chests.
Yeah, he's gonna probably check Cardia for a ribbon if I think correctly. He can't feel comfortable without any ribbons in this party comp. But he'll also do all those turn-ins and check a vendor item in Gaia here, which is going to be a chime. We need a chime, we need an Oxyel, and I believe we need an Opal Bracelet and Power Bonk, right?
That is pretty much correct. We are down mostly to the Power Bonk, the Opal Cheerio, 2 of our actual key items, and some dangerous explosives. I would actually put it on pretty good odds that the incentive chest in Sky at this point is going to be the one that has one of our equipment items.
Yeah, there's a high chance. It's 2 equipment items out there. We have the Thor Hammer, and then 2 necessary items, so it's pretty much a 50-50 at this point.
Yeah. I also feel pretty confident saying that at least one of the key items is definitely in Gaia at this point. I don't see how it could be arranged otherwise.
Chime can't be in Sky, so we know it can't be the Chime.
Yep. Guda trying to remember if he popped his bottle already.
Uh-oh. He doesn't know. Might waste some time looking for it.
That bottle was on Sarda, Guda.
Oh, he's gonna do slab turn in first.
Ah.
I guess makes sense. I mean, you're right there, so it's not a time save anymore, but okay.
No exit, so we just have to walk out of the town.
And straight to promotion.
I don't hate that at all, especially when you're sitting on that katana.
Yep. This way, when you check Gaia, you might be able to buy magic for your red mage or red wizards if it's something you want in that black magic slot 1. Katana and Ice Sword are our options right now for ninjas. Helmet and Flame Shield, probably the best things we can throw on that top one. We have silver gloves, but we can't put those on with pro rings.
Looks like the main combat unit on Guda's side is going to be the Xeno Ninja.
Yeah, second slot makes sense. It's a little less susceptible to being targeted, so I want that guy to be the powerful hitter, as opposed to the one in the top slot.
Yep. And yep, Guda is going for the cardia checks. As Seelie is actually checking all the chests in ice and finds a huge Mancat and Medusa tile.
Scary, considering they have ice too.
I believe that was an ice armor I just saw Guda pick up.
Oh, it'll be a nice compliment to his flame shield.
But he decided, I might be wrong because Guda just opted out of that entire cave.
There is a Zeus Gauntlet. That's a pretty nice item magic to have.
That means you have two different sources of Lit 2, and when you haven't done the Water Shrine yet, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I would probably have kept it just for the Wiz the Hag packs that you're going to run into in Sea Shrine.
Yep. Seelie making the check on the armory that we did not see. Opal Shield, not useful for us. Guda getting that black magic for the ninjas.
Buying Cure 3, I hope. I don't understand why is he not buying it. Alright, now we get to see the bottle turn in and then the slab. There's our chime for sale.
Yep, there's the chime in the item
has
shop.
forgotten that he popped his bottle.
Oh dear.
Now, that might not be a problem if we get an Oxyel from Sky or we get an Oxyel from the slab turn-in.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be a problem. Ooh, Guda passed up a Bane Sword, it looked like.
Yep, viewers, it could begin. It depends on whether or not that fairy has the vanilla Oxyel. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Opal Cheerio.
Doesn't want to keep it.
We are now hoping purely for Oxyel and Sky.
He's got one more hope here. And then he's going to be confused.
And yeah, I actually don't agree with just leaving the Opal Cheerio behind. Like, you haven't gotten a lot of armor otherwise, and the Opal Cheerio is equal to steel armor and anyone can wear it.
Absolutely agree. I think it's a gutsy call to leave it behind with this comp.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're wearing, like, mostly silver bracelets still. You've got some armor on your ninjas at last, but...
Seelie looks like she's gonna take a couple of these fights here of the Mudgull and Sorcerer packs, only if they roll decent numbers. No, never mind.
Gloomshoe, the bottle itself was on Sarda. We have not actually checked the fairy yet, because Guda forgot that he picked up the bottle.
You know, and Guda has been orphaning lots of boxes, not really checking some of the dense packed rooms for ribbons and things. So
yeah,
it kind of makes me feel like he feels behind at this point.
Yeah, I think he's really worried about all that time that he spent in Marsh.
Yeah, that would make sense. Trying to take out an air with some nukes. I hate airs. They almost never roll nicely with their HP or their evasion.
Those Grey Nagas also roll pretty beefy.
I love killing the Grey Nagas though. They're basically eyes. Just a little more HP.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine that Guda wants to do Topher with, like, no ribbons at all.
I wonder if Guda's going to do a walking grind here and open all the boxes, which I was going to say might have been his plan from the beginning, is get in the Skywalk, check all the boxes, get the roaming EXP, kind of grind as you go, plus maybe find ribbons.
And yeah, finding that dragon armor chat, that's a bit bittersweet.
I just kind of rolled on the beefier side today, over 200 HP.
Okay. Seelie about to get that check on the item shop, and then we will see if Seelie remembers that we opened the bottle.
And we found a ribbon on Guda's side in the room just above the incentive Sky.
Yep.
So, as Crabkick says, Sky provides. So, in my opinion, if you're Guda right now, you have your minimal win condition gear. You got a ribbon, you have a white shirt, you have a katana.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no, for Guda.
Oh dear,
This is
that
good.
Yes.
This is very good news for SeelieFae. If Guda
She doesn't
can't
know it yet,
remember
but-
the bottle, it's
Mhm.
not good news for Guda.
That is not good news for Guda at all. This race just got interesting, chat.
We'll see if Guda decides. Maybe he thinks in the back of his head. Maybe he's battling it in his head right now. Did I pop bottle? Maybe not. I'll just check after this.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's the
but he's gonna do that
TNT.
first.
And the TNT is going to lead to the power bonk.
He won't hate to see that,
No, not at all.
but he is gonna hate not getting the Oxyel.
Wait, did Seelie pick up the chime?
I'm
I'm
not
pretty
sure
sure.
if Seelie stopped in the item shop. Okay.
All right, our tracker is just a little bit behind there, but that's fine.
Speaking from experience, these trackers can be pretty annoying with clicking the button and then it not showing up.
Yeah, it's true. And looks like Seelie is thinking about putting at least a little bit of armor on that dead ninja to use it as a bit of a meat shield.
Look at the levels though. Level 23 already across the board. Is that 3-man strat?
Yep. And Guda continuing to try and dig out another ribbon or something.
Roaming XP and yeah, another ribbon, maybe a defense sword. Not enough to go over all the other boxes in that room though. Kinda, eh. Alright, less RNG time, chat, if you want to see Warmech shred up Guda's party.
Meanwhile, Seelie getting the magic sorted out. Not surprised that she wants those fasts and tempers.
Yes, Fast and Temper level 1 cheese and Saber level 2. This is the Ninja Dream. Got tons of blessed RNGs in chat. Come on, Warmech! Give it to the people.
Be the hero that we need, Warmech.
Alright, time of truth here. That's not Warmech.
That's a lot of hydras.
That's not Warmech.
That's a lot of hydras.
Those aren't Warmech either. That's not Warmech.
That's very sad, is what it is.
Try harder, chat. Come on! We can't get Warmech here without the blessed RNGs. Come on! No! You got like 2 more steps.
Gregory Puff, I would suspect that.
Oh, that got my hopes
just
up right
airs.
there.
Yeah.
That got my hopes up.
Unrunnable airs, though. But yeah, I would speculate that the gelatinous cube did not make it into Final Fantasy when a lot of the rest of the bestiary did, because well, first of all, it looks like Seelie is going for Earth first. Interesting
Check
play.
the tiles. Finish her grind before doing Fiend Dungeons. I don't hate it one bit.
Yeah. Zoerfire is citing copyright. I think the gelatinous cube might have been broad enough that it wouldn't get caught up by copyright the same way the Beholder did in the US.
Okay, Tia time. We got our first Fiend fight. Gonna throw some Brax out. Tia hits decently hard, 177. Half our HP.
But I mean,
Get a
Gregory
fast,
was...
get a white shirt, we get a Brack out. Nothing
Yes.
happening with the Brack. The Katana swings. Ooh, that's not a lot of damage. You're gonna want to put some more buffs on that guy if you're gonna go for damage strats. Temper him up. There you go. Uh-oh. Double backline shot by Tia, making her best Kraken 2 impression. White shirt comes out. We got 3 hits, 199. That's a lot better. Tia could roll as low as about 500 to 600 HP. We'll see how low she gets. Done about 600 at this point. We got more white shirts coming in. That's our third stack of invis, so those punches should start being a lot less dangerous. On a swing, 7 hits, 242. So an hour about 800 so damage.
The
Fourth
murder
stack
blender
of
doing work.
invis. We're almost near cap. One more should put us there. Getting some more fast and tempers going. White shirt number 5. This puts us at our cap. Katana swing. 7 hits, 1,055. Still standing. Tia 1 with the beef today. And the last swing, 8 hits, 1,238. Down goes Tia 1. That was a lot of HP on that Tia.
That was pretty much a max HP Tia, and we had to really bust out the murder blender to get through it. Orb.
We get our first orb of the race at an hour, 14 minutes, and 30 seconds, despite having both loose in the first 25 minutes. This goes to show how trolly a seed can roll.
Yep. Meanwhile, Guda coming up with that big T-bone steak.
Yeah, great EXP. Always take it when you're at this point of the game. Oh, is that off power cycle?
I believe
It
so.
is.
Yes.
There's our grind. Sealy finding the Whizvamp Vampire Pack, also great EXP for party packs.
Yep. I think Sealy might do a tiny little bit of grinding here and just get to 24 and like just call it good. And I'll also probably get a little bit of EXP for the the meat shield ninja there.
Yeah, what I don't like about the Vampire Pack is when you get ambushed, as just happened, ooh,
It
things get
hurts.
scary.
Yeah.
Ooh, but we're gonna keep one ninja up for this EXP, it looks like, thankfully.
Mm-hmm. And the ninja who really needs the EXP.
I like Guda's grind better. I think the 1 blue stake off of hard reset, well the 2 off of hard reset, is pretty nice. Now it kind of feels bad taking it with 4 party members up, because the EXP gets split so much, but it's still good EXP if you're doing a full party grind.
I mean, Guda has pretty much committed completely to this full 4-party composition at this point, so I don't hate this.
Yeah, I think he's completely going 4-man strats here. Gives him a backup if something terrible goes wrong in one of the fights. I mean, I think his second best weapon, though, is an ice sword, which kind of feels bad.
Yeah.
Oh! SeelieFae pulling out the Mazmoon behind a vampire in Earth Cave. What are you doing with that vampire?
Sealy is now probably also going to go in hard on those 4-man strats because you've got 2 perfect weapons for 2 ninjas at this point.
Yeah, that's nice to put on one ninja and the katana on the other. Holy moly.
Even though Sealy hasn't found any ribbons on her end yet, I actually wouldn't be surprised to just see Sealy turn on the burners at this point. Like, you've got the weapons and the spells that you need to just blow out the seed at this point, and, like, I'm pretty sure that it is possible to get walled here in one of the mid-levels, so maybe you just rely on that for your spell resistance, and you just start flying.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd feel pretty dangerous going into Topher with no resist on any of my characters except for the ice armor and the flame shield.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, now we're down to a 3-man on this fight. Big crit from the T-Rex, 510 damage. That was humongous. Imagine Kraken 2 getting 12 of those.
The steak deciding it wants a bite too. I mean, Speed Bump managing to live for more than a single turn.
Oh, is Guda doing the thing? I like what Guda's doing. If I was good, I would have done this from the beginning here. Whoa! Silver Dagger crit, 132, chopping up that T-Rex. SeelieFae lights her first orb here at 118.46. Now we're funneling EXP into some characters. 2-man grind on Steak.
Seelie going for Water Temple next.
Yeah, Sea Shrine seems like a good play here. You definitely have the goods to do it. Get a couple free checks along the path to Kraken, might hit a ribbon. Now, here's the thing, Guda hasn't found his Oxiel.
Nope.
And he's going away from Gaia. So...
He's going to get to the Dwarf Cave, and he's going to be very, very upset.
With all the time he's done in between getting his floater and this, it is even more likely in my mind that he has forgotten about the bottle thing.
Mm-hmm. There's the power bomb.
Nope, you didn't buy Warp, buddy. In fact, I don't know what slot it was. I think it was level 6, but...
It is level 6, and I believe it was in... Yeah, it's in the 3 slot, so he could buy it if he wants to.
So level 6 Black Magic, you can only get slot 1.
Mm-hmm. I think he's remembered that he did pop the bottle. Yes. So it's not as bad as it could have been.
Ooh, yeah. He didn't lose too much time forgetting about it.
This is going to end up being a pretty close race, though, because Seelie is, aside from these really simple checks, pretty much putting on the burners for Sea Shrine.
Yeah, I like Guda's levels a little better, just having the near level 30 on his damage dealers and one of his reds.
And he's also got the power bonk now.
Yep, he's fully loaded for doing Topher. It's like he's also
really
Sea Shrine next.
Yeah, it is really hard to call who exactly is ahead, because Seelie could go fishing for that power ball? Maybe?
Wouldn't be much of a fishing if she does.
Seelie getting these couple of chests without checking the spike tile. No need for that pro ring at this point, though.
I wonder if Seelie is going to check Armory and Volcano next for a ribbon, or if she's going to do Sky.
That's a very good question. Guda loading up on those heal potions, since he refuses to use heal 2 or heal 3.
Or buy Cure 3.
Yep. Still mostly rocking those silver amulets. I don't know how that's going to roll in Topher. That
It's
could
not going
get
to be
scary.
pretty whenever we get to the fiends that punch.
I mean, it's not just like the fiends that punch. There is a non-zero chance that you could get those big packs of bad men, and they're unrunnable.
Yep, but thankfully they show up early enough where you can then counter manipulate them out.
This is true.
Seelie, just like that, chops up her squid, and we have 2 orbs on SeelieFae. The orb lead in SeelieFae's hand.
Mm-hmm. That was some very quick preparation of sashimi with a pair of very good carving knives.
Looks like Seelie is going to do Sky next, so I wonder how much she checks here if she really wants a ribbon.
I would personally guess that she checks nothing here in Mirage. He'll check the obvious area in the first floor of the Flying Fortress. She'll get the probably one thing on the way on the 3rd floor, and that'll be it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Seelie even skip the incentive chest, because we're Jets on at this point.
Definitely a risk to try to do this game with no ribbon, but it's not an impossible risk to come out on top with. We've seen plenty of Tophers this tournament that were basically just paper, where it took 1 or 2 turns of doing damage and you took out every fiend. Ooh, I don't know. I think Guda checked the left side, so it'd be interesting if Ribbon shows up on the right side and SeelieFae checks this right room with all the boxes. Maybe Guda checked right. I can't remember. Short-term memory, not strong. Ah, thanks, Tarnin. Oh, goes on to the next floor anyways. Good call there.
Yeah, no, SeelieFae has... it is going to go ahead and check the incentive chest.
Walks by the ribbon, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Probably hoping to just, like, find a power bonk here, or maybe the opal bracelet.
Yeah, because those are the 2 things that she hasn't found yet. She'll get the TNT, which she'll probably finish the turn in for. Maybe. Meanwhile, Guda's taking on his Kraken, and doesn't hit a Brack.
Going for Brack strats, and it's not quite working out.
See, I'm a proponent of, if you have the means to do the damage, just do the damage. I've seen too many insta-kills resist too often.
Thankfully, though, that squid is made of absolute paper.
Yeah, there was not a lot of HP on that squid. And Guda gets his 2nd orb now. The orbs are tied up. SeelieFae slightly in the lead as far as the next dungeon concern goes. But she seems to be...
suffering from some kind of brief delay.
A bit of a freeze on our side of the restream, or the stream? I'm not sure. Guda again do Earth next. Wonder if our restreamer is on top of that.
I can confirm that Seelie is proceeding forward in... Ah, there we are.
Oh, we're good. Might have just literally stepped away for a break. Who knows? We'll have to ask her, maybe after the game.
I know that Seelie was having the occasional problem with some technical issues last night, and those might not have gotten sorted out in time for the race.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'd like to see Seelie keep a committed commitment to this momentum she's got going forward. So time to see if Guda checks this box for a Mazmoon. Nope. Orphans his
Oh.
Mazmoon.
That always feels bad.
Seelie hitting level 27 on her 3 characters that were up for the whole game. And bless RNG time, chat. We're getting close to SeelieFae on the Bridge of Destiny. You failed us last time, chat. Don't fail us again. Hit those bless RNGs in chat if you want to see a warm mech come in here and try to shred up SeelieFae's party.
Guda did skip the vamp chest, Gregory. This is another one that could be big.
MG Weirdo, it was definitely you guys. Come on now. Get those bless RNGs going. Here we go. Oh, hold on. We got a speed bump before the Bridge of Destiny.
A speed bump that Seelie is taking.
Alright, here we go.
Get those plus RNGs in chat. Oh!
Oh, we got him! Oh, he ambushed us. That's not good. Alright, the
Robot
human
friend.
paper shredder has appeared. Gonna throw some tempers onto our ninja. Hopefully we get a good swing. Oh, they went out before the tempers, but did good damage. Or rub. That's a good second turn spell. Come on, Warmac. Keep showing us those nice things. Let's go. Big Mazza swing.
Busting out some heal 3s. I don't hate it
Guna
at
could
all.
learn a thing or two here.
Yes.
Alright, we got heal 3 coming out. Ooh, a swing, but doesn't kill. Oh, we got high evasion on this Warmac. That was just one crit that landed. Let's see if we can get more crits on this next turn. 2 cure 3s coming. I like the play. 2 hits, 181. Uh-oh. Don't punch. Don't punch, Warmac. Oh, you punch. Oh, he punched real hard. Uh-oh.
Punched very, very hard.
Nuke time. Come on, nukes.
Fire 3.
Nukes. Come on,
I don't
big
hate
roll.
it.
Yeah, we got him
Yeah!
down! SeelieFae
Level
absorbs
29
all that
on each of
experience
the-
on her red mages. Unfortunate
Yeah.
for her ninja, but nice XP altogether.
That makes those red mages very, very tough, though. I don't hate it at all.
It gives lots of levels of spell magic in the lower level too.
Meanwhile, Guda blasted through a speed bump while we were paying attention to Warmech.
Yeah, Guda's
It's
got
the
his third
hats.
orb lit. Yep. Gonna buy his fast and temper on his ninjas. Volcano is a very quick clear. Both runners have it left for last as their last check. We'll see if Armory comes into play again. And with one ribbon, Guda might feel it's okay to check Armory. SeelieFae, I'd be shocked if she ran past Armory with 0 ribbons.
I think Seelie, especially with like the 1 or 2 pauses she's had, feels a little behind.
Absolutely.
And
I could definitely
think
see that being the case.
I think she's just absolutely hitting the jets at this
Guda
point.
leaves behind Saber.
Guda, please. Not going for the nukes, not going for the sabers.
He's got Bonk is true, but what if Bonk guy dies to Kraken 2 in the first turn? You want something to fall back on.
Meanwhile, just swinging away at this incredibly beefy Tiamat.
Yeah, it's true. You can just throw nukes out, but I don't know.
Seelie discovering that this is an incredibly beefy Tiamat, and unfortunately we used up those nukes on Warmech.
Yeah, this Tia is not going to go down quick.
There we go.
Guda is about half a volcano ahead of SeelieFae right now, which is not saying much.
Yep, especially given the fact that Guda is much squishier in terms of physical absorb. So certain parts of Topher could be very, very spicy for him. Seelie does not find the T-Rexes, and is just going straight for Volcano.
Love it. Uh-oh.
Er,
Turn around, Seelie. There you go. It's like, where are you going?
Probably briefly thought that she needed to do Earth, but it's like, oh no, I did Earth.
Alright, time for Volcano. 4 peeps.
I would reset out of that personally.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, they'll likely run away, but she did get her nuke out. Did not run. Level 30 on those reds. That's a beefy red mage.
Yeah, but at this point, it's almost kind of excessive. Like, you're probably not even going to be able to make use of that many spell charges. It'll be nice to have the extra MDef.
Yeah,
the
the HP
extra
and
health.
MDef is definitely what you get most at that level. Guda has his 4th orb lit and goes straight to Temple of Fiends. He did his preparations before Volcano. Gonna burn off the 5 houses he had and make his heal pots in a more accessible location to go spammy with. Here he is, Temple of Fiends at hour 34:08.
Running into those quad chimeras. Again.
Seelie says, I think I want a ribbon enough to look at these boxes. Imps. Not the tile you grind.
Definitely not.
Oh, there's those badmen you were talking about.
But they are runnable, so they are not nearly as much of a factor.
Thunder Giants.
But we get away from them pretty easily. Guda is currently dodging some of the pitfalls that his strat of low absorb armor could throw at him. Though we do still have a tentacle monster and a 5-headed dragon coming up that could have something to say about that. I don't think she has swords on her reds. She's in there, no, and I don't blame her because I always find that swords on red mages when you have like nuke in level 1 or 2 is basically superfluous.
The rare number 8 encounter, Saria's, right before Lich. And Carry going down pretty quick, I would imagine, here. Oh no, survives to round 2, I should say, with nukes and swings coming out. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this Carry.
Oh!
Wow,
Meanwhile,
Carry's
Lich
just
has
being
freaking
obnoxious.
Cure 4.
He says, I'm gonna take up as much of your time as I can.
And the zap goes, oh, this is an incredibly tough Lich.
Yeah, this Lich is not going down easy. Demanding respect.
Yep. Finally goes down. The Cure 4, though.
Alright, SeelieFae, she gonna do her turn. I don't know if she's done the TNT turn-in yet. Is she going to do that for her power bomb? Yep. Question in chat, Thunder, how does Zap make you feel? Zap is unreliable and you should never try to count on it.
I mean, it did only kill one ninja out of, like, 3 people who don't have time immunity.
Hey, you want my thoughts? That's my thoughts. Let's see, Seelie gonna do a little bit of shopping, I think. No pots, yeah, she's got A4 gonna top up more than likely, maybe.
Ooh, nuclear coming out of Carry.
That ninja down on one knee. Uh-oh. Got it down, though.
but clutches it out.
Alright, SeelieFae gonna burn her tents in her house, it looks like.
That's not even what I meant to say, Cheeseinator, but fair play.
I approve of it. Ooh, SeelieFae also in Temple of Fiends now. Guda, 2 Fiends ahead, and almost 3.
I don't understand why Seelie is not just running from these chimeras.
Maybe he just feels a little bit unprepared. Want to take some EXP along the way. Yeah, Kraken 2 goes down just as fast as Lich 1 should.
Pretty much. So it is down to Chaos himself and Tiamat to actually threaten this low absorb comp.
Oh my gosh,
Nope.
and Tia also rolled like no HP.
Guda is one boss away from going 3-1.
We need to apply some clamps.
Rock Goals want to say hi, but Guda's having none of it.
Alright, let's see if Chaos rolls more than 800 HP. Chaos could roll up to 4,600 at max. Just over 800, I think, at minimum. And be buffing up. Looks like that bottom ninja Xeno is going to be doing our damage here. Oh, Chaos is punchy! Takes out top ninja in 1 blow. 3 hits, 463. Big hit from Chaos. That was the white shirt user, I think.
Yes, it was.
Oh, and
Tornado coming
Tornado,
up.
he's not only punchy, he can whittle you down with non-elemental damage. 7 hits, 861, so he's above minimum roll HP right now. 5 hits, 698, still standing, so not the weakest pushover. Ink, return, more tempers. We're beefing up this ninja super fast. We're gonna get some big hits.
And probably going down here.
Oh, 1,659
Wow.
doesn't take it down. Nuke 185. Crack! Oh, gets the red mage.
Very lucky.
Oh my goodness. 7 hits, 130,
And
1,319. Chaos goes down. GG to Guda. Official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, 54 seconds. First place finish. Good job, Guda.
I was ready for that crack to do some business, but nope.
And SeelieFae is on Lich 2's floor, so not far behind.
No, it was anyone's race for a while there, but ultimately, Guda's routing was a little bit faster, and I think most specifically, Guda was a bit better about taking and leaving fights, and that's what let him pull ahead and get this 3-1. Yeah,
For sure, I think Guda was more judicious with the fights he could take versus the fights he didn't want to take. And getting that ribbon right off the bat in Sky was really time-saving for him, too. He didn't have to open up all the boxes SeelieFae did in Volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, I don't think SeelieFae has a ribbon still.
And we are joined in chat by Guda632. GG, man.
Thanks, Space Drake. Thanks, Thunder. That Chaos, when he came out with that 400 plus damage punch, made me go, oh crap. And I'm like,
Yeah,
temper, let's hope the my ninja can hit.
I was talking for a lot of the seat about how you decided to just roll with those low absorb armors the whole way through, and I was just waiting for one of these bosses to start reaching out and touching you.
Yeah. At the end, I realized that I didn't check a couple of armor shops, and I didn't know where gold bracelets were. And I'm like, it's too late. Last location floater. I've got to be about 5 minutes behind. I have to go. I've got the levels off those T-Rexes, so I'm like, screw armor. Let's go.
Yeah. The gold bracelets, by the way, were in Provoca.
Of course they were. Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, they're always in that armor shop when you want them.
Right. I think I even checked that, and it just completely blanked my mind. Just like it completely blanked my mind that apparently I accidentally popped the bottle early.
We were talking about that, whether or not you would remember that you opened that bottle and that the Oxy would be right there in Gaia.
Yeah, because I got the floater, and I'm like, I swear to God I had a bottle, but I was practicing before this, so I'm like, maybe I got a bottle on the old seed. I guess I'll full clear the game. Ah.
Yeah.
So, Guda, I got a question for you.
Oh, is it about too loose, Thunder? Please tell me it's about too loose.
No. You saw it twice, but you never executed.
Uh-oh.
Why didn't you buy Cure 3 on your red mages?
Oh, because I'm dumb. Same reason why I didn't go and buy Cure or Heal 2 on my red mages.
Yes.
I'm like,
that was my follow-up question.
I'm like, where was Cure 2? Or Cure 3?
Yeah, Cure 3 was slot 1, level 4.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember if it was because I was going broke at that time or what the deal was. But I'm like, I don't need any of this.
You got plenty of money.
One of my big downfalls is that I constantly forget heal magic, just constantly. And it's something I need to actually practice, but I never take a white mage. And like 80% of the time it feels like I'm locked out of all the good heal spells other than like Cure 1. Here we go, Cure 1.
Yeah, honestly, the magic for red mages in the seed was spectacular. Like,
Yes,
it could
yes,
not have
it was.
really gotten better.
No, I couldn't have. That's literally the exact opposite of what happened with my last race, where like everything was locked out to white and black mages.
Ooh, hold on, we got SeelieFae eating a nuke from Tia 2. Oh, and a back row punch on one of her reds.
Oh no.
We know this Tia 2 was paper though, so maybe this swing, yeah, 588 gets him down. But yeah, you kind of rolled a 4-man comp the whole seed. Seelie kind of ran a 3-man comp for most of the seed until she picked up a Mazza in Earth and Vampire.
It was so free, and I didn't even grab it.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, so the
I felt
difference
so
there
far
is-
behind.
Yeah, then you took your blue T-Rex grind off the hard reset, which was pretty nice, and she kind of just grinded here and there on different tiles she ran onto. Might have taken like 3 fights, 4 fights, and moved on.
Yeah, I did that with a couple of places. Like I found a couple of okay tiles, and I'm like, I guess I'll just blow my nukes and get out of here. But when I found that T-Rex off hard reset, which was completely by accident, by the way, it was on my way back to my airship.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll let you guys call this chaos fight.
Go ahead, Space Drake.
All right, so we are kicking it off with a whole bunch of tempers on the back row damage dealing ninja. I don't know if Seelie is going to try and do damage with both of the ninjas here. And Chaos leading with the tornado this time. Probably going to get some heal 3s out. Yep. And a white shirt. We know that this is a pretty good idea because Chaos is feeling punchy. 705 to start with. This is not going to take too long. Heal 3 is going out. Good turn order, but now we can see. Yep, Chaos giving the free.
Oh, I'm scared.
Oh, the dark goes on the damage dealers. That's not great.
I'm scared of the next skill with no ribbons.
Oh yeah. Is it going to be punch or is it going to be? Oh. Hooray for that that white shirt.
Whoa.
2,500 damage will seal
Hello.
the deal.
Well, that's all you need to do right there.
Now that's a hit.
Right?
I didn't know she had a black belt.
That's the power of the thief after, 13 tempers.
Yeah, and a masa.
Yeah. Yeah, thieves, well, ninjas, when you can get either a katana or a masa on them, they just become absolute powerhouses. Like they do black belt damage, which is amazing, which is why I love them so much. You don't have to get as many levels on them to really get that kind of power.
Yeah, there's a reason I've taken to calling a ninja with a katana or a vorpal the murder blender.
Yeah, so that was quite a fun race to watch. You guys were super close. Did ask for SeelieFae if she wants to do an interview, kind of waiting. She probably stepped away to just kind of collect herself a little bit there.
Yeah,
That was
this was not a seed. Like the end of the seed, like I'm like, oh sweet, it's paper, and then chaos came out with just everything, and I'm like, well, crud.
yeah. I mean, you go in with no ribbons even in Seelie's case. You're pretty much clenched the whole time.
Yep. Speaking of which, we are joined by SeelieFae. GG.
GG, Seelie.
GG, Sealy.
Hey, thank you so much.
So
I'm super excited to watch this VOD back. We had to have been neck and neck the whole time.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. This seed was like the most linear progression I've seen in a long time, and you guys were hand-holding pretty much the entire way, all the way to getting the floater.
That's crazy. So, did you last location floater as well?
We have possibly lost voice on SeelieFae.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you only had one item to go for at a time. So, like, until you got Canoe, everything was perfectly linear. And then it was like, okay, well, I want to check 2 shops to see if it's a vendor item. So I might as well do Waterfall before.
That is literally the exact same thought that I had. I'm like, we're still missing a vendor item. We're sitting on 2. We have Caravan and On-Rack, and then we can do Waterfall when we're right there. So I'm like, all right, I'll go over there. And then it's just super easy to jump up over to Ordeals. And I'm like, this makes the most sense. This is the most checks. Ice is so far out of the way. Like, I'm not going to go do that. And then I did, and I'm like, I'm 20 minutes behind. Here we go.
No, it was fun because even your early games, even though you had to do Marsh Cave, you guys kind of did everything in different orders, but the same. Like Guda checked the key locks as soon as you got the key. Sealy, you kind of ran through, did some things, grinded some Paralisks in Northwest Castle, then checked all the key locks, then went back to Marsh. Guda, on his way to Marsh, grinded some Paralisks, I think, then went into Marsh. Guda checked bottom Marsh, and you both got out of Marsh at the same time. You literally were like 3 seconds behind each other leaving the Intercontinent.
That's so
Wow,
awesome.
that's amazing.
That's fantastic. But yeah, this really. So I got super tilted after I got the crystal, because I'm like, crystal turns into Canoe, crystal turns into Canoe, crystal turns into Canoe, and then it didn't, and I'm like, oh no, my boat's on the wrong side of the world. Because I'm like, it's gonna turn into Canoe, and then I'm just gonna stay up here and just go. And I also, for some reason, thought I had Chime, so there's that.
Yeah, it was fun because you guys did like it was like you guys did everything at the same time almost, and then finally once we got to the floater, Guda got to that just a little bit ahead of SeelieFae, and then kind of branched off to diversions there. But it was pretty fun.
Nothing like a 1-hour floater.
After getting both loose in the first 25 minutes or so.
Right?
Yeah, it was.
Go ahead, Sealy.
No, it was super fun.
Yeah, I got my first orb at 1 hour and 14 minutes, and I'm like, this feels so bad.
So let me ask a little bit about your guys' ideas with the comps and how many members you ran. Because I mentioned, Guda, you ran 4-man comps. I guess from the get-go, were you just planning on keeping your whole party up and doing all 4? Or did you ever consider going 3 or 2-man at some point?
It really depended. Like, with the magic, I should have gone 3. I should have gone 2. I think I went 2 for, I don't know, like half a dungeon or something. And I went 3-man halfway through Sky. And I like to kind of keep it fluid, but I knew that damage-wise, unless I wanted to take one of my thieves like super high, that I needed to keep 4 up just for the support, and with the level 1 fast and temper, I wanted to keep 1 just a little bit lower so we can get all the charges, and then fast up my katana.
Hmm. Yeah, because you ended up getting to about 28 across the board with your whole party until you decided to go 2-man on your blue T-Rex grind at the very end for a little bit. But Sealy, you kind of committed to the 3-person party for most of your play, and I guess that was your plan until you had come across the Masman behind the vampire, right?
It was always my plan to bring up the 4th just before I did air, because I wanted to have the levels on the other thief so I could cast the fast and temper. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
finding
the,
that mask.
the fast and temper at level 1, I figured it was in the cards for both of you to make sure your ninjas got the charges for those things, and it was good play by both of you to make sure you could get that to happen before promotion by not getting too high right away.
Speaking
Um,
of which,
oh, go ahead.
we were also wondering, did the saber at level 2 come into consideration for either of you? Because that could have powered up your ninjas as well.
That is exactly what I thought when I saw it at level 2. I'm like, SeelieFae knows what's going on. She said, or they said before the seed started, like, Saber's half a 50-50 with a ninja, and then it was right there at level 2, and I thought about it, and then I ended up not needing it because of all the temper charges.
Right.
yeah, same here. I bought it, but I never cast it because we had Power Bonk and we had 4 temper cast.
Yeah, I think you guys did that pretty well. Plus, you had Nuke, which was something else that would have been almost just as effective than as using Saber once in a while. So I think you guys did the magic pretty good there.
Yeah, and I took a page out of Maya's book from week 1 where I'm like, I have 4 nuke casters. I guess I'm just gonna go in and pray like that. I had no armor the whole game, so I'm just gonna go in and pray that I can nuke all these speed and power down before anything bad happens.
Probably 4 minutes of the gap between us was me grinding money to get gold rings on everybody. So I had
Oh,
armor, but it cost me.
yeah, I didn't even look where the armor was. Like I usually just get armor as I go, and then I didn't have to open any boxes. And I'm like, well, I don't know where gold rings are. I'm not gonna go looking for them. I've got pro rings and silver bracelets and chain armor. We'll see what happens. And then Chaos punched my ninja, who was wearing a silver bracelet, for 450 damage. Goodbye.
Yeah, you got hit real hard, but the blue stick hit you even harder. Um,
Yeah, it did.
so I kind of guess I got my questions out of the way. Space Drake, do you have any more questions you want to ask the runners here?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Guda, I do have to ask, how did you feel when that marsh dive came up completely blank? Was that the point at which you started to think, "Oh Lord, I'm really, really, really behind"?
No, when I commit to a dungeon and there's loose items, I want to commit to full clearing it. So when I got the
Right.
canal out of the top, I'm like, there's extra boxes in the bottom because I have the key. And if I find nothing down here, I mean, I can always just reset out, which is what I did.
Hmm.
But yeah, it felt bad, and I felt behind, which that was where I started feeling behind. And then when I last location floater, I felt really, really far behind. So
Right.
I'm even missing the Masa because I'm like, don't have time to take 2 steps. I gotta
Hmm.
go.
Right.
All right. Well, how about some final thoughts from the runners here? Hey, how did you feel? Any final thoughts you want to share about the seed?
Bring thieves. Thieves are really, really good in all of the spring tournament flag sets.
There you go. Will Bloodworth, you heard that, right? Guda, what about you? Any final thoughts?
I'd like to thank Randomania for putting us out here on Randomania Prime midday. I think we're the first race of the week 4. It was good to get out here. I mean, 7 minutes between us. That's could be RNG. I mean, this was a great race. I'm glad you guys decided to show up and watch us. We got Sawney Wrath coming up next. I don't know if it's here on Randomania 2, but he's coming up. So that's going to be awesome. Other than that, Speed Gaming 4. Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, I'll go through the
Um,
times here. We have Guda and SeelieFae just finished Sonny Wrath and Hangry Nuck on Speed Gaming 4 at 4 o'clock Eastern. And then we also have Real Super Pleb versus Black Knight on Randomania Prime at 5 o'clock tonight if you're looking for more Randomania Final Fantasy Randomizer action.
Yeah, so thanks to Thunder, Space Drake, and Sunny for doing the comms. Caleb for doing the restream. SeelieFae, this was fantastic. It was great chatting with you last night for a while. You and I haven't had a chance to really chat too much, so it's one of the best things about the spring tournament is you get to meet new people and make new friends. So it was great. Thank you, everybody. This is a great race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well
it was
said.
so fun.
All right. Well, with that, let's do some closing here. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out and watching. If you like these runners play and you want to follow them, hit them a follow. SeelieFae and Guda632. Myself and Space Drake on the comms. And we had behind the scenes doing the tracking, Sunny. On behalf of all of us in Final Fantasy Randomizer community, thank you for supporting our tournament and watching us. And hope you guys have a good rest of the day.